question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay, won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. Take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling
What's going on, folks? Will Studio with another late night CHFC Ranch Show. AKA the football philosopher, AKA Arteta's daddy. What's going on, folks? What's going on? How are we doing tonight? You can try, but there's nothing to be cooked. But big up the folks. Make sure you are hitting that like button, the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and all of that other BS. And if you do want to join the stream, the link is pinned to the top of your chat. You know, so if you're watching on your phone, it's going to be right there. You can come on, you can have the show. If you've got the balls and you want to come on and challenge any of the takes, this is the show to do that. So we open it up to everybody. Spurs fans, Arsenal fans, Villa fans, whatever you want to do, it's open for you. All you gotta do is click that link and come on the show. Don't be shy. Look, this is what I get all the time from people in the comments that like to challenge me. And then they talk about me, doing things or saying things where it's like I don't let them talk or I don't let them get their opinions through. The link's pinned right there. Or I guess for you guys, it's going to be right here. The link's pinned right there. Come on the show. Come on the show. And if you think you're right, prove it. That's all I got to say. Don't talk big in the chat. Because if you don't have the balls to click the link right here for everybody to jump on and come in and have their say, then don't talk to me. Because I'm here. I'm always here. I'm always there. I am always here. I am always there. But let's say hello to the chat before we start bringing folks in. And let me turn on my actual background music here. And then we'll get going. We'll get rocking and rolling. Big up for Jonas Tonelli. Big up, my man. I see you in the back. We're going to bring you on here in a second. We got Mark as well. Hi, big up. Cold shot. We got Skull-X. Says, we're here to cook Spurs. Go for it, buddy. Give it your best go. Give it your best go. No, I don't do jokes. Terrence Sampson, big up Terrence. Scott M, big up. Arsenal de Groot. Yes, Spurs are still finishing above Arsenal. Yep, they are. Still over half the season left to play, my man. Still over half the season to play. Big up Will. Question. I don't know. That's a good one. If I were to sit down with Ange, I would like to know his reasoning and or rationale for that, right? But he's manager. He makes the jobs. Do I agree with it? No. I wouldn't have subbed Son off, and I wouldn't have subbed Lo Celso off. Especially if we're trying to score goals. But Ange has got a plan, man. And I tell you what, bar the Wolves game, and then the Chelsea, disaster. The tactics have been working as far as how we want to play and the number of chances were created. The problem for me right now isn't the way Ange plays football or even the choices he makes in substitutions. It's simply just the quality of our wingers. That's it. People want to know, what's the difference? What's the difference between the first 10 games and these 5 games? The difference is James Maddison finds Son and the wingers don't. It's the difference. It's the only difference. Lo Celso for me today was okay. He wasn't great. He needs to do better. He doesn't push near as high up the pitch as Maddison does. He tends to stay outside of the box, whereas Maddison drives inside, makes late runs into the box, and adds an extra man into that attack. alongside Adoji and whoever's playing on the left. That's it. Look, this isn't a complicated task. I don't understand why people got their panties in a wad, right? We all know Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson just can't finish the score. And Richarlison again today missed a header. Well, he was off balance a little bit, but he was pretty much wide open, unmarked, and all kinds of stuff. Cube says she's gonna hop into the shower and they'll come on after. Will sounds good. Jago's in the house. Big up Jago. Annyeonghaseyo. And annyeonghaseyo to you too, J Park. Who else we got? I don't care if it was the best joke ever. I'm not reading Elias jokes on stream. That's just not what I do. Who else do we got? Arsenal de Group. Big up my man. And then who else we got? You can't take it chances and create for sun. So basically you can't take chances and create. Yeah, we can't create the sun. We can't find sun, right? Again, simply look at the number of touches Sun had in the box today. It's not rocket science. And then the wingers are wasteful in the final third. They completely give the ball away. It's easy. Look, it doesn't take a degree to be able to parse out what went wrong today. All you had to do is watch the game. Doesn't even take statistics, right? My fingers aren't fat. I got thin fingers. I got wiry fingers. But let's start. No, Son's not useless against the low block. Three of the 9 goals that he scored have been against the low block, so you can't say that, right? When they find him, when they play the ball to him, he does just fine against the low block, right? Well, I don't understand. Look, I understand fans want to banter Tottenham because we're playing. We scare you. That's great. I get it, but you don't have to lie to do that, right? It's a difference. Banter is telling the truth. What I do to Arsenal is banter. What you guys do is lie. There's a big difference. Big difference. Let's just be honest and truthful, right? The truth is more funny than fiction, right? Right? Like if you say something that's actually true, I'll actually give you credit for the banter. Like I will big you up for it. I'll laugh along with you because it's true, right? With Charles saying can't hit the broadside of a barn, it's true, right? Your wingers, pass like 30-year-old grandmas or something, 50-year-old grandmas, 60-year-old grandmas. It's true. Right? I'll laugh along with you. But let's not make things up. Like a lot of people are saying that West Ham dominated us today. No, they didn't. If you think that, you're either dumb or a liar. Those are the only two. It's the only two options. Let's start bringing in the guests. First guest of the night is sitting in the back here. We got Jonas Tonelli. I don't know where he's from. I can't remember. I know he's been on the show before. It's not his first time. But let's welcome him to the show. Can't remember where you're from, so I can't give you a local intro. But big up Joan.
Let's go.
How do you pronounce your name?
It's pronounced Johannes.
Johannes.
Yeah. I'm from New Jersey.
Big up New Jersey.
Yeah, big up, Will. Thank you.
You know what I hate about New Jersey?
What?
I hate going to a gas station in New Jersey. I always get nervous.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to tip the guy or what? Like it's annoying.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll tip. Yeah, I mean I've heard that before actually from people down south and stuff.
Well, yeah, but it's like the only state in the country that does that, right? So like,
yeah,
I will literally. So when I drive a lot of time from Atlanta all the way up to Massachusetts, right? So I actually have to go through not a whole lot of New Jersey, but it's significant enough that it makes me uncomfortable. So that I will literally stop and get gas in Pennsylvania before I get to New Jersey, even if I don't need it, so that I don't have to get gas in New Jersey.
Yeah, it gets like that sometimes. Yeah,
I hate. It's gotta. I mean, maybe not for the guys in state because you don't really have a choice, but it's gotta hurt. Yeah. It's gotta hurt your revenue on the gas front from people out of state.
Well, you already know the gas is already crazy as it
crazy
is.
high. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Maybe if you would just let people put their own gas in their cars, and then
Yeah.
you'd be all right.
Yeah.
But for people that don't know, if you're watching this from outside of the U.S. in New Jersey, they don't have self-service gas pumps for the most part. I think there's a few in some places, but
Yeah,
for
I've
the most
seen
part,
very
they have
few.
they have an attendant that puts the gas in
Yup.
for you. So.
Yep. Yeah.
But the next guest, let's bring him into the show. Next guest for the evening. I've heard he's from my home state. He might be a little nervous to come on the show today. We play him on Sunday. They lost 3-0 to Everton, but I big him up for coming on. Right, the only team that could have made today's appearance for Spurs somewhat palatable. Chris from Top FC TV. Newcastle fan for people that don't know.
What's happening? What's happening,
Up,
brother?
Chris.
Always down to talk with the old Will Stewart.
So you're from Missouri, huh? Are
you from Missouri?
I'm from Missouri, man. I'm from St. Louis,
What?
born and raised. Was born in Lake of the Ozarks. Moved up to
Get
Blue
outta here.
Springs, Kansas City. Lived there until I was 15. Lived in St. Louis area from 15 to 20, and all my family
Well,
was in Missouri.
I get two things from this. Either you've been talking about me, so that's good, and number two,
No,
it's a
TJ
shame
told
you-
me.
it's a shame you didn't tell me, bro.
TJ told me.
Right now. You live in Missouri.
No, I live in Atlanta right now, but my whole family lives in Missouri.
Is that where you went for Thanksgiving?
Yep. That's where I was at.
Damn, man, I'm 2 hours from St. Louis. To go there all the time. I'm actually 1 hour from Cape Girardeau.
Okay. So
You must
you're
have-
down south.
I'm in the boot here.
Southeast.
Yeah, I'm in the. Yes, that's it. I'm a country guy, man. Don't look it, but I am.
Big up,
Yeah.
man.
No
No,
doubt.
I got some friends that live in the Cape.
Okay.
That's probably the only part of Missouri that I haven't spent a lot of time in, to be honest with you. I mean, you're
Wow.
not too far from Sedalia. So I was raised in the Lake of the Ozarks, right? So that's not
No,
too
yeah,
far
yeah.
from you. Maybe an
No,
hour, hour and a half.
That's cool, man. Didn't know. Yeah, hey, us Missouri brothers got to stick together, man. TJ never talks to me, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's why I always say with people, you got to, show me. You got to show me. Like, I don't believe
Dude,
hot takes.
Yeah,
I'm from the show me state.
that is right.
That's
That is right. I saw the stream, man. Always down to talk to you, bro.
Yeah, it's
Tough-
gonna be a good show. We're gonna
Tough
we're
loss
gonna-
for both of us.
Yeah, there's another show going on right now. Staffy TV started about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, and it may be done now or wrapping up. Maybe he gives us a follow on, maybe not. But they got the waffle. They got a bunch of waffle going on over there. So we're gonna try to avoid the waffle as much as we can. Although I do love a good waffle, right? I do love a good waffle. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I enjoy a good waffle now and then. So I like to waffle with the best of them. Let's bring on the next guest. This gentleman has his own song somewhere. He's not from Missouri, but he's from another great state in the US of A, where freedom is still free. Mari from Tottenham. The great state of Florida.
Oh, I live in Florida.
I did live in the summer outside of Springfield
There you
in
go.
Golden, Missouri, in the Ozarks, because I was a camp counselor at Kennecott. And so that whole lake area, town, Golden, and all those small little towns with population of 5. Yeah, I stayed out in Missouri in 2004, 2005. Camp
Nice.
counselor. Yeah, I'm in Florida now. Happy with the Copa America draw. I love it. People get excited about the Euros. I get excited about the Euros. It's just even more excited with Copa America, which is going to be in America. Oh, don't offend. Oh, Elias, yeah, you're joking. Don't offend me. Do not offend me. Do not offend me.
What a comment right there.
Yeah, do not offend me. that is, yeah. He's winding me up.
They must not teach geography in Malaysia or Pakistan. So
That's simple. Like,
It's like the next day over there.
yeah.
yeah,
Florida's
but I mean,
like,
it's like asking if Florida's in California is like asking if white is the same color as black,
yeah,
or if the Pope is Hindu.
it's two different worlds.
Or that the moon is the sun.
If you told me Florida was a different country, I would believe that more than saying Florida is in California.
Jeez Louise. Like not only are they completely different, like politically, culturally, and every man, but they're literally on opposite sides of the country from each other.
The world, yeah. It's just it's like separate. Wow. We don't learn American geography.
Obviously.
Obviously. That's
Obviously you don't. Because I've told you this before too, so you gotta be taking the piss. But we've got so what are you guys' thoughts on the game today? What are your first thoughts? So for me, look, for me it was just smash and grab, right? We dominated him. I'll give you guys my opinion. You can tell me if you agree or disagree. We dominated him for 90 minutes. Far better in the team, right? There was no defensive mistakes. Bar the 2 goals that we conceded, we hardly conceded any other chance the entire game. Right? They barely even got in behind us. And the only problem was the vast amount of chances that we created. We had almost something like 2.35 expected assists. And we scored 1 goal. Like, that's how many chances we created. Their expected assists were 0.43, and they had almost 2 XG, right? And the majority of it, 90% of that XG, came from the shot that bounced off the post and then the shot that finished it off. And that was it. They had 3 shots on target. And those were those 3 shots.
Well,
What?
you're gonna laugh when I say this. First of all, you won't laugh at this. They're
Yes.
just not Johnson's not good enough. And I've seen some other shows and they back me up. Kulu, not consistent enough, not good enough in regards to play out in the wing. Frustrating.
You're having some headphone problems there, my man.
We're gonna need those guys.
There's like a weird buzz or something.
We're gonna need those guys to currently until we get reinforcements. They're gonna have to step it up, especially Kulu. Johnson, I know it's a small sample. For me personally, I feel he's not that guy, man. I just feel he's not that guy. And I'm gonna say this: this is where you're gonna laugh, right? Because I said to myself, "Where's Son? Did he even have a shot today? You know who I miss?
I think you had 1.
You got 1. You know who I miss? You gonna laugh? The person who put the ball to his feet, Solomon. I actually miss Solomon.
Yeah.
Madison.
Solomon and Madison were the 2 people that found some most often.
Yeah. The only 2 people who has gotten the ball to his feet. I'm like, when is Solomon coming back? Like, literally. And I don't even rate Solomon. I don't rate Solomon. But I'm like waiting for him to come back. Because Leonard Johnson, for me, as of today, I can only talk about his current form and that small sample. It's just his in the final third, he's atrocious. Today, he was atrocious. Atrocious in my book. He was atrocious. Kulu, once again, undecisive. I already went on a rant on the previous show at the post game. You know, going back and forth with whoever that guy is. People already know my thoughts on Kulu. Not good enough. Hoiberg today was atrocious. I got a clip of him tackling himself. He did have a Charleston. He fell down. It's just. But the most frustrating thing is, and like you said, if you look at the stats, actually, you don't look at stats. Just look at the game. We dominated this game, and we lost.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Yeah,
right?
It wasn't close. We dominated this game, and we lost. And what's frustrating is not frustrated because of my expectations, because I'm like, okay, this is all within the process. The frustrating thing is this is the third time in 4 games, the Wolves game and the Aston Villa game, where you just left like, we should have won this game. We should have won this game.
Well, 100% we should have won this game. But the problem is that we can't finish anything, right? So like, I just want to throw this up here like this for a second, because just to show people what we're talking about here, right? So this is the whole game, right? First half was a complete and utter domination, right? They had nothing. They had no shots or anything like that, right? Or they had 4 shots, 1 shot on target, right? And it ended up going like, I think was it 1-0 at halftime, or was it 1-1 at halftime? I can't remember. But in the second half, in the second half, you see the number of expected assists that we have versus their expected goals. So they had 0.25 assists. So that means that this 1.73, right, minus 0.25. So the remainder of that XG came from chances that had no assister, right, which means that we gave it to them, right? And this is the first goal, which bounced off Romero into was a shot that bounced off Romero and then bounced off of Ben Davies and then bounced into an offside, into Bowen, and who's in an offside position. Because it bounced off of a Spurs player, right, it wasn't offside. And they scored a goal, right? It was a freak accident. The second goal, right, is a Doji not being pressed at all, completely in open space, simply just plays the ball back to Vicario at like a snail's pace. Bowen is already just standing there, runs in onto it. Vicario has to come out and punch it away. And when he punches it away at the exact same time that Bowen reaches it, it bounces right to James Ward-Prowse. And, we know what happens. Bounce off the post and bounce right back to him, and he kicks it in and finishes it again, right? That's it. That's their only... Look at the whole game. Look how many shots on target they had, right? In the whole game. They had 4 shots on target, and Vicario saved 1, and it was a shot that was directly to him. Right? It was that easy shot from, what's his name? That one player. But the other 3 shots were the hitting the woodwork, the first goal, and the second goal. That's it. That's all they had all game.
Yeah.
5 shots. Right? That's it. Like, this is not something like it was even like a normal smash and grab. This was like a fluke accident. I mean, what are you gonna do? That's football sometimes, right? There's nothing you can do about this, right? And every other statistic is just a complete and utter domination. 75% possession to that. 775 passes to 242. Right? Accurate passes, number of long balls, the guidance and crosses, number of dribbles. Possession loss is about equal. Duels 1, aerials 1. Right? Tackles. All they did was defend all game. And let's take a look at their shots too, for people think that I'm snuffing or I'm making crap up. Here it is. Right? That was that one that was tipped over the bar, right? This is the one that was directly to Vicario. There's the goal. There's the goal. Look at the XG on this. 0.93 on that one James Ward-Prowse shot. Why? Because there was no goalkeeper in the box. It was literally an empty net. Right? And with the James Bowen one, 0.50. So from those 2 goal shots, those 2 chances, all of their 1 point or 2 point XG, 75%. Bar those 2 chances, right, which we gifted them, they created nothing. It's just the facts of the matter. Look at the number of shots that we had. Look at all that. We were absolutely peppering them, and we could finish nothing.
How many on target though?
Quite a few.
7.
Like 11. 7
to West Ham's 5. Look, I mean, listen. Tottenham played well in the first half. They deserved more, and those goals by West Ham were flukes. I mean, part of the game. But to be honest with you, man, the same thing with Newcastle today. They've been playing great, and Tottenham. Well, the past couple of matches from Tottenham, they I think they haven't won the last 5, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, fan bases kill me, man. I gotta stay off Twitter because you can have one bad game and everybody loses their mind. I just don't get it. I don't
what's
get
happening. What's happening with us is we're having good games but bad results, right? So the games are good. Like the game against Villa was a good game. We played a good game of football. The game against today was a good game of football. We got unlucky, really unlucky, right? And then the thing that bothers me, right, from the rival side of things, right? Like people saying like, all I hear is excuses. No, stating what is a fact is not an excuse, right? We lost. There is no excuse for losing, right? The fact that we lost is our fault. But it is also true that we outplayed the opposition on the 90 minutes on the pitch on the day, right? Both can be true at the same time. That's just football. Right. The worst team wins all the time. It's why it's literally where the term smash and grab comes from, right? It means you were outplayed for the whole game, but you still got the result, right? You still got the W, right? Hit teams only count. We know as Spurs fans because we used to do smash and grabs all the time, right? It's not about making excuses. The thing that bothers me though is the narrative that we overrated this, like the Spurs team for the first 10 games. That Spurs team for the first 10 games was overrated, right? Because you guys have now lost 5 in a row, or you haven't won in 5 games. The problem with that is that the results, like the statistics, the statistical aspect of it, right? How many chances we're creating, the possession statistics, right? Total shots on target. All of those statistics are exactly the same. The only statistic that's different is the amount of goals that we're scoring or converting, right? And the main difference is the rest of the game is identical to the 10 games. In fact, some of these games have been better than the games we were getting results in the first 10 games of the season, right? For example, the performance today was far better than the performance against Luton, performance against Sheffield United, even the performance against Crystal Palace where we won 2-0, better than the performance that we put up against Manchester United and we won 2-0, right? Same thing with Villa. The performances, the way that we play football was better in these 2 losses than some of our wins were. The difference is our wingers now, those 2 wingers that are playing because Solomon is injured, Madison is out, cannot, 1, finish their chances, 2, they can't find Son. I could pull up the numbers of Son, how many touches he had in the opposition box, and you would see that he didn't have any. He had some, like he had 1 shot, I think, right? That he was off balance for and put it kind of like it was a weak shot that Flabberfingers saved easily, right? Bar that, he didn't have any other chances. No other chances to score a goal, but he did create a bunch of chances for the team. In fact, you don't get a SOFA score of 7.8 for doing nothing. It just doesn't happen.
Oh, and that's one of the things I wanted to bring up in Spurs' favor. And I'm probably the only non-Spurs fan here, so I don't have a game in it. But only Davis and Udogie are below 7, and they're 6.9, 6.8. So everybody else has a high score this game. If you care about this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which I do care because it like, for example, a lot of people were saying Christian Romero was at fault for that first goal. Why? Why was Christian Romero at fault for that? Look, I understand that your player sucks, and so you want to try to bring down Romero to make yourself good again. Like I was having a couple conversations with some Arsenal fans that were talking after Saliba's horrible performance where he sat there and ball watched on 2 set pieces and allowed Luton to score 2 goals against them, didn't even attempt to defend, right? He's supposed to have the amazing awareness and he's supposed to be a proactive rather than a reactive defender, and yet he sits down and does nothing when a corner kick comes into his area in his zonal marking system, and allows the goalkeeper to have to come off his line to save it, and or just watches the guy head it from right next to him and does nothing to attempt to get involved in it, doesn't try to get touch tied at all, to having Christian Romero who gets an 8.4. William Saliba has never even come close to getting an 8.4 in his SOFA score in the last. I don't even think he's broken 8, right? Much less 8.4. And they're saying, oh, it's because he scored a goal. William Saliba scored a goal this season. What was his score then? Like 7.4? A whole point lower. And I want people to take a look at this and look what Christian Romero did today to impact the team, right? He scored a goal. Clearances 2. Block shots 1. Interceptions 1. Tackles 2, right? Last man tackle 1, right? Dribble pass 0 times, right? 66% on his ground duels, 100% on his aerial duels, right? Only lost the ball 7 times. Was only fouled 1 time the whole entire game. Had 121 touches, right? 108 passes, 1 key pass, 50% on his long balls, 2 shots, right? William Saliba has never impacted a game for Arsenal in this manner in his career at Arsenal.
Well, how long has it been an Arsenal player? I mean,
A
you were
year
doing
and
a
a
little
half.
banting. You're doing a little banting there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm being 100% serious.
You can, yeah, but you can say the Spurs deserved more without having to, you know, go about talking about Saliba and stuff like that. I mean,
I didn't even bring it up. I'm talking about the Arsenal fans that brought it up on Twitter. I can pull up the tweet. I can pull up the tweet. We can throw Saad under the bus if we want.
Oh, Saad? Is that who?
Right?
Oh, man.
But and then Pedro Porro, again, the second best right back in the league.
Well, today, those Romero and Porro, 8.4. I mean, that's,
they're monsters, right? Destin
Monster
Udogie
game.
was easily
Monster
the one who made the most mistakes. I think Udogie was probably the best in the first 15 or 20 minutes. But in that second half, obviously with that, it's the second time now. He did that against Arsenal, right? And this is the thing, right? He got away with it against Arsenal because Nketiah can't finish, right? Ward-Prowse and Bowen aren't that guy, right? They are far better finishers than Nketiah, right? Jared Bowen is a far better finisher than Nketiah. You cannot be playing literally passes to your opposition in your own box. It's the second time Udogie's done this. He's young. He makes mistakes. He's going to have to get better. But I mean, that one's on him. This loss is on Udogie. It's not on Postecoglou. It's not on the rest of the team. But the fact that we lost this game is down to that error from Udogie. Period. He's got to own that, and he's got to correct it. Right? I'm not saying sell him. I'm not saying he's a waste of space. I'm just saying today it's on him. Today's loss is on Udogie's shoulders. His and his alone. And anybody who tries to put it any place else is just a liar.
You're going to choose Udogie. Okay. I mean, yeah, he's one of the players.
Who's the one who... He's a good player. Look, Udogie is a good player. Today's loss comes from that error. Nothing else. He doesn't make that pass, which he didn't need to make. He wasn't being pressed. He wasn't under pressure.
Look, he's a defender. So you can say, yeah, he made that mistake. But Richarlison...
He's an attacking fullback, right? Okay. So he's way better on the ball than that pass. Yeah.
But you can also say the same thing about Richarlison, who missed a header right in front of the goal. You know what I'm saying? A clear shot.
Look, so Richarlison could be the reason why we didn't get 3 points, right? But Udogie's the reason we lost 3 points. Right? Because without West Ham literally created nothing of danger or threat, bar the 2 goals that they had. Nothing. The whole game. Nothing. I mean, am I wrong?
I mean, I agree to a certain extent. But then if you're going to look at it, it's Richarlison. You didn't get 3 points because of him, but you lost 3 points because of Udogie. Then you can just use the same thing and say that because of Postecoglou, you didn't win the game at all.
Right, what was wrong with the tactics today? What about the tactics cost us 3 points today?
There is a thing going around. Might be true, might not be true. And I like to hear, everybody's opinion if they want to jump on. But that the narrative of Postecoglou doesn't know how to balance things out, and he's just about going forward, vertical. And doesn't focus on.
If we had actually conceded chances from open play, right? And I'm talking about them, us turning the ball over high in our offensive third or even the middle of the park, right? And them counterattacking us, I might agree with you, right? If the Highline,
I'm not necessarily saying that.
The 2 goals that we conceded were not a result of the Highline, not a result of a tactic, or anything else. One was a freak deflection off of your when the shot came in, it hit Romero, bounced off Romero, hit Ben Davies, and bounced to a player in an offside position. I mean, how do you prevent that from happening? What about the tactics broke that down? Nothing, right? In the Adoji pass, what about the tactics caused Adoji to play the ball to Jared Bowen in our own box? Nothing. There's nothing. That's what I'm saying. These two chances, which were the only chances they had all game, of any threat whatsoever that the keeper didn't easily handle, right? Out of the 5 shots on target that they had all game, 3 of those came from those 2 plays, right?
I've got a question for Chris. Hey, Chris, I've never met you before.
What's up, man?
Stel. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. I do the channel with Will Stewart.
Yeah, I was watching you guys earlier. Amazing. The whole
cool,
watching.
Nice one. Thank you. Yeah. So, Chris, when I hear fans say criticize Ange or question Ange, my question always is to them, rather than saying what the problem is, what's your solution then? So when you talked about the balance, my question to you would be, what should we do then?
Well, just that. Maintain a balance. I'm not necessarily saying
what does that
he
mean?
did.
What does that mean about what does that
Well,
mean?
if you look at, I'll give you the example that's the most obvious in it's the match against Chelsea. I think that was way too much. I think that most people could agree that was way too much. And so that's what I would say when it comes to balance. Now, this game in particular, I didn't say that.
Chris, sorry to interrupt you. I'm confused, bro. What was too much? Like
attacking. What was it? 9 players, if I'm not mistaken.
9 players, yeah.
9 players. You were attacking. Your defensive line was past the midfield.
Yeah. And
you were attacking.
Yeah.
Leaving so much. If Jackson was a decent striker, that game would have been 5-0.
So my question again is, what do you want us to do? What are you asking us to do?
Again, I would say Ange
the game was 4-1, so it wouldn't have been. I mean, it couldn't have been.
You see, this is what happens. People don't tell me what.
But I'm telling you though, you got to keep.
Tell me what
the
problem is. You tell me what the problem is. What's your solution? What are you asking us to do in that situation?
Not be so naive in thinking that it is what it is. We attack, and it's the same losing 6-0 than 2-1, or because if you have 9 players, I know we're going back and we shouldn't do that, because my point was that there is this argument in the world out there. Yeah. This. I'm not just making something up.
Game that we've lost by more than one goal.
You still haven't told me what we're doing here.
Hold on.
Describe it to me.
Hold on. The thing I want to clarify is though,
I want to know.
We've only lost by 1 goal. Bar the City result where we were down to 9 men. We've only lost by 1 goal.
Yeah, but I'm not. But see, now that it became a little back and forth. Now it's seeming like I'm saying that Postecoglou needs to change the way he's doing things. That he's been messing up all season because of the Highline, because Tottenham is losing because of this. Look, I never said that. I
understand the Chelsea result, right? Because it was unusual, right? We were down to 9 men. But I'm
not criticizing Postecoglou on that.
But what I'm talking about is the rest of the results, right?
Yeah.
The system is what got us the draw against City, right? Where we outplayed them in the second half of that game. The system is what caused us to outplay Villa, even though, right? And then even in the Villa game, and so, smash and grab. Right?
I do agree that if that's the way he wants to run the team, that's perfect. I'm just saying I don't like extremism, if that's a word, on any part of the football pitch.
Chris, brother.
Yeah.
What do you want? What would you do differently if you were the manager in that game, right? You mentioned the Chelsea game, not me. So I said, okay.
Yeah. So because I was trying to point at an obvious example. I didn't say anything about that was the issue today or before.
The Chelsea game. What would you do differently? I
would definitely not have a Highline like that, putting my team in a vulnerable spot.
What would you have then?
Hold back.
What would you have? What would you have?
I could just try to hold back and catch Chelsea on a counterattack.
Right. Okay. Right. Hold that thought. All right. I'm a qualified coach for over 12 years, right? I develop players for the pro clubs. So what you're saying to me is, let's drop back. Okay. And the reason is, I'm guessing, to protect our goal. That's why you want to do it. Right.
Right.
If you drop back, automatically you invite pressure on, because you're now saying we're going to sit back. So you are now inviting the other team to come for you. If you do that, you need to have resilience and defensive attributes to hold out. Spurs under Mourinho and under Conte, with better defenders on the pitch, couldn't do it. So how are we now going to do it with a weaker defense with 9 players? Mourinho and Conte couldn't do it with 11 players. So tell me how that tactic works.
But just because it didn't work with Mourinho doesn't mean it's never going to work in football ever again, right? So
no, we're not saying it won't ever work again. We're talking about with this squad, right?
How would it play out?
How does it work?
Because they had Romero.
So you think, though, so let me ask you this. You think that because you don't have a good defense.
It's not what I think. It's not what I think. It's what you think.
But take it for example. We had 11 men on the pitch, right? In that game where we played you guys last season, you guys smashed us 6-1 in the first 15 minutes. We played 5 at the back, right?
5 at the back doesn't mean defensive. Just know that.
I know. I realize that, but we were playing defensive against you. We never even tried to leave our own half, right? And you guys tore us open time and time again with us sitting in a low block, right?
But if we can't, but look, we can't be too literal, because if we say that we're just going to put 3 center backs and 3 left backs and 2 left backs that don't go anywhere, and all of a sudden you're gonna be
right. But what I'm saying is the same players, right?
Compared to putting 3 strikers and you're gonna score every time. No, that doesn't work.
Chris,
like that,
but
right?
what I'm saying is it's the same players, right? Bar Adoji, right? Adoji was off the pitch anyway, right? So you had Emerson Royale on the pitch, you had Pedro Porro on the pitch, you had Ben Davies on the pitch, you had Eric Dyer on the pitch, right? You had Højbjerg on the pitch. It's all the same players. Where we lost 6-1 to you in the first 20 minutes of that game against Chelsea, down to 9 men, we would have lost anyway. But what the Highline allows you to do is it shortens the gap. If you win the ball back high up the pitch, it shortens the gap for the counterattack. And that shows in the number of chances.
But when you have 9 men, you are in a very vulnerable spot.
Sure, but you're in a vulnerable. Okay, look, Chris, if you're going to concede either way, but if you think you can outscore the opposition, because we actually had more shots on their target than they did on ours in that second half. Believe it or not.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah,
Chris, let me tell you, there's 3 things that were at play here, and this is why for me, Ange was right. Okay, number 1. Liverpool played against us with 9 men for less time, and they still lost. And Liverpool had 3 centre backs on the pitch,
3 defensive midfielders, 3 centre backs.
We had none of that, right? And that's with better players in the right position. They still collapsed with 9. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you're that deep, you said, and counter attack from there. How do you counter attack? Maddison's not on the pitch. The only way you're going to counter-attack is a long ball to Son. That never works. Or you get the ball out wide and for Kulu to carry it. Kulu's not going to carry the ball the whole length of the pitch. He's not that player. He's not a box-to-box player. So the counter-attack isn't on with the players we had available. And the final thing is, no team in the history of the Premier League has managed to get a point with 9 men on the pitch for more than 10 minutes. We had to do it for 45. So we would have had to broken the Premier League record to pull off what you said. So I get your logic, but it isn't feasible. It isn't feasible with the situation we were in.
It's just kind of like an easy stick.
Yeah, well, it could be that, and it could be a matter of at this point, you just have to put it in play and see who's right one day. Some people. Huh?
Dude, 9 men for 45 minutes. We were going to lose whatever. So Ange's head was like,
Chris, throw the Chelsea one out the window. Because
1 minute. You say you don't think so. It's fact. No team down to 9 men. I just told you.
Okay, but you're talking about so it's a record. You know what I mean? it happens often, but it's just a record. You know what
No,
I'm
it's
saying?
never happened. No, dude, it's never happened. No
Well,
team with 9 players in the Premier League has gone on to not lose a game when there's been more than 10 minutes of play. Never
and it's
happened.
still standing, right?
It's
Yeah.
never. Yeah, that record is. Yeah.
It's still standing because
It's
even
not that
with
it's
the Highline,
impossible.
it
It's just
didn't
very
work.
unlikely, right? It's unlikely. But what
No,
actually,
did you?
we
No,
actually,
no,
hold on.
did you understand what I said, Chris?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
understand what you
impossible.
said.
What Chris is saying is it's not impossible. Just because it hasn't happened in the past doesn't mean it's not possible in the future. And he's right, right? That is true. But it is very unlikely, right?
Unlikely.
For example,
So the Highline didn't work either.
right? It is possible for the sun not to rise tomorrow, right? But we
The-
have
the
billions
high-
of years.
the-
Hold on.
Yeah, go on.
We have billions of years of evidence to say that it most likely will, right? So
Mhm.
so what Stell's trying to say is because it's never been done before, the odds, right, or the probability in which it could have happened is very low, right? It's not impossible. It is possible. You're correct. But what my point is saying is that what we did on the day, what the facts show, what we actually saw with our eyes in reality, is that we had the opportunity to not only draw that
Well, I agree.
game, but win it.
Yeah.
Because of the tactics that Postecoglou did. If we had
Dyer
set
that-
back, look at Liverpool against us when they went down to 9 pin. Do you remember how many shots on target they had in that whole entire second half?
I don't
Zero.
remember.
It was zero. Right?
And because
So-
football is football, and at the end of the day, I
because
don't
it's
know.
hard-
I don't
it's
know who
hard
can
to-
say they're right in this game because anything can happen, right? And like you
Right,
said,
but that's
there
what
is
I'm
a
saying.
record.
That's why I think
But-
that's the point Stell's trying to make. The criticism of
No,
Postecoglou.
I understand. No, look, but
Yeah.
see, this is the thing. I'm not criticizing Postecoglou, nor do I think that that's what he does every single game. I was just pointing to me what was an obvious example to what people talk every single day.
But you see, the problem
You
is
see
with
what I'm
these examples, the variables change. For example, no team's had to do it for that long in a game and get a result. No team, right, in Premier League. And then it's comments like this that I have to deal with. It's not fact at all because Chelsea is shit and can't finish against a low block, right? The problem with that comment is Chelsea have not once this season faced a low block against 9 men. Chelsea have struggled against a low block of 11 men, not even 10 men. Chelsea haven't played against a 10-man low block, only an 11-man block. Playing against 9-man low block and 11 are two different things. So comments like that from Uncle Mad has no facts at all.
And it's not
because
true.
he's-
They've beaten
because-
teams since then that
because
have
he's-
gone into a low block against them and they've won.
right? Because he's using an example with variables of 11 men and saying, oh, they couldn't beat 11 men. So if you go back with 9 men, they're going to have the same problem. That is a lie. There's no evidence to back it up. And because there's no evidence to back it up, you can't say facts. It's only fact if there's evidence to back it up. And this is what happens. Because most fans don't have football intelligence, I don't want to be dismissive of you, Chris. I'm talking about people Uncle Mad. I'm talking about Uncle Mad. They don't have football intelligence. They're self-acclaimed experts in bullshit. I call them all out. Chris, I do this all the time. I call them out all the time and I educate them. And they hate me for it because they don't know where to go once I've done it. Chelsea have never, ever, 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 ever this season played against a 9-man low block. Never. So how can you say, oh, Chelsea would struggle against it? Where's your evidence, man?
I only have a few minutes, but I wanted to something that we didn't notice. I had to look at the game again. I actually did notice, but I had to look at it again. And I actually went on View South View Coy's channel. Big up to those guys. You notice some of the fans left early, 6 or 7, 8 minutes early before the game ended. The game could have been a draw, and the fans left, which is and then I'm seeing comments on Twitter and our fan base. You got people who are already saying some really stupid things, really stupid things, and our fans leaving before the final whistle.
Luton.
Not good signs.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing with. I'm a Newcastle fan, so losing today. We've been playing so good. You lose a game like this, and all of a sudden, Eddie Howe has to leave. I've heard the same thing about Postecoglou.
Yeah,
Read on Twitter. It's like it's madness. You see what I'm saying? How people flip flop, and
Oh yeah.
it's crazy. And so to be just to mention, honestly, the way Postecoglou makes his teams play is the way I like to watch my team play. You know what I mean, or watch football play per se. So I never want to come off dismissive or criticizing his style of play. Um, but I do believe again in a balance. Now that's not saying, to what Stelios, me and him were talking about. You know what I mean? That's I just mentioned that Chelsea game, but to be fair, in the same token, I will say that I don't agree with people criticizing Postecoglou over the same thing over and over in every match, because I don't think he does it in every match. If you're going to criticize him because he has a Highline when you start the match, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, for
Because-
example, we played pragmatically against Wolves. What happened?
Yeah.
We
No.
lost. We lost
And to
2-1.
me though, you got to do it week after week.
Right, but
You know what I'm saying?
we played aggressively against Villa, right? We were a
Yeah.
better team on the day, right? If we had finished our chances, we would have won that game easily. It would have been 3 or 4-0 in the first half, just like today, right? This is what I'm saying. Like if we were playing, if okay, I would acknowledge rival fan bases. Like I heard a gal say on Staffy's channel earlier that, right, we overhyped this Tottenham team. The reason, their performances, in the first half of the season were an anomaly. No, because the performances are still there, right? The number of chances we're creating, the style of football that we're playing, right? The only thing that's different is we're not finding Son. If you watch every single game that we lose, Son hardly touches the ball, right? And it's not a coincidence. It's because the other people can't finish. They don't have the quality of Madison or Son in finishing or taking shots, period. It's just fact, right? So when we look at the performances, if, say, Tottenham were playing this style of football and people were just getting in behind us all the time, right? And they were just dominating, they were counterattacking, and just blowing us away with counterattacks, then I would say, you know what, you might be right. The system is probably the problem, right? We've got to adjust. We've got to change. The problem is that the system is actually working. The only thing that's not working is the quality of the players in the system. Because if the quality was better, we would be blowing teams out 5 and 6-0.
Can I?
Well, it's almost like it's almost like a screenplay, right? You've written a perfect movie, but you have some good actors and you also have some bad actors.
Look, you're trying to do Mission Impossible 2, right? You're filming Mission Impossible 2. The script is there. It's one of the most watched movies of all time. But instead of Tom Cruise, you put Elias as the lead role. Is the movie going to be as good? No, it's not, right? That's obvious. Right,
Guys,
Bryce?
You
take Tom Cruise out of
You
Mission
gotta
Impossible
let Stella
2.
talk, man. He's melting over there.
You take Tom Cruise out of Mission Impossible 2 and you put Elias in Tom Cruise's role. Is that movie as good?
No.
If you take Rocky Balboa out of Rocky and you put Elias in that role, is Rocky now one of the greatest movies ever made?
No.
Will.
It would be comedy, maybe.
Can I just explain something to
I love
everyone
Elias. He's so
watching
good.
watching this show? Because, like I said, I think most football fans, they don't have football intelligence. I'm not being rude. They just don't.
Brentford didn't outplay us, Scott. It's not true. They scored off a deflection and a penalty that wasn't a pen. That's it.
They either haven't got the experience from the industry, they haven't done the badges, they haven't been around the right people. It's normal, man. It's not a big deal. But when people talk crap, I have to speak on it. When you develop, Arsenal can even beat Spurs in their own backyard, man. Forget them. Like when you want to achieve something with a team, the most important thing is the environment you set and repetition of the practice. The environment you set is the mindset that the manager sets and the owners support. And repetition of the practice is going over the same thing so many times you've drilled it into them and you tweak it along the way, right? Now,
100%.
I took over a team when I first started maybe 10 years ago, and I wasn't very good. I was crap. 4 or 5 years, I found my feet. I learned off people 10 times better than me, and I started another team, and this is exactly what happened. I said to myself, this is how we're going to do it. And I know we're going to take hits along the way, but I'm going to stick to this. The first season was pretty bad. I lost 2 really good players because they felt that I was taking it the wrong direction and they're better than the team. And I just about held together what team I did. We brought some new players in, not as good, but the rest of the team had learned what I'd taught that season. So it was an easy transition for them to come in because the rest of the players got it. First season, poor. Second season, average. The third season, because I kept at the same thing, the third season, we won everything. We won everything. I had coaches coming up to me saying, how did you teach your goalkeeper to do that? How does your goalie know to do that? How do you do? And I told them, this is what I did, and I stuck at it. Any manager who is going to be successful has got to do that. If you want to call it trust the process, stick to the plan, follow your strategy. If Ange doesn't stick to what he wants to lay out, we are going to fail. We are going to fail. We've seen managers do it. Mourinho was successful at Spurs. We were top of the league at Christmas, playing 4-2-3-1. As soon as he changed it because it wasn't attacking enough, we fell apart. You've got to stick to your laurels, man. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
100%. I agree with that.
As well.
So for me, if people want to shit on Ange, shit on him.
No,
I'm cool with that.
but look.
But
let
I
me
just
ask you
want
this,
people to remember. But Chris, I just want people to remember. It took Sir Alex Ferguson 4 years to win a trophy. It took Klopp 5 years. Arteta has spent £700 million. He's now into his 4th season. They've won fuck all since he started spending money. Maybe this will be their year. Every top manager or every successful team needs time, unless you're Chelsea, Man City, or PSG, and you spend £1 billion a year. Then it's different. You just buy success. So that's why I'm not bothered right now by these results. It doesn't faze me. Go on. Sorry, Chris, man.
No, you're good. But I think that you I mean, I don't want to. I don't think you're saying that nobody can. No, I'm not talking about the people that talk stupid stuff on Twitter. I'm talking about any football fan that has some kind of knowledge. I don't think they have to be a manager or a former coach to be able to talk football. And
You can have an opinion. You're allowed an opinion. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. But if not, then we just live in a world of rainbows and roses, and the manager does everything right. I think there is room for, hey, I don't agree with this. You know what I'm saying? I think there could be criticism if you think that your manager did wrong.
So I agree with you, Chris. But hey, let me ask you this question, right? If Richarlison finishes that chance and Udogie doesn't make that pass, what about the tactics today? Hold on. What about the tactics today were wrong? Right? If everything else out in the game
never said anything was wrong.
No, hold on. But there's people in our own fan base, right, that are calling out the manager and saying that, you know, this guy is overrated, that he's a fraud, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So my question is, if we're doing a hypothetical here, so we're talking about modal logic, right? In an alternate universe where Richarlison finishes that header and Udogie doesn't make that pass to Vicario, what about the tactics? If everything else was exactly the same, was a mistake? That's my question.
Well, I don't think, if you're asking me, I don't think there was anything wrong with the tactics.
Right. So then how is this Postecoglou's fault? Like,
I didn't say it was.
You could say, I think the only thing that you can criticize Postecoglou today on is his substitutions, right? So, you
can question why did Son come out unless he was hurt, right?
Well, I mean, Son came out injured according to it, right? It's got a plus sign above his name.
Will, this is what I mean by lies.
Subbing Skip.
Spurs are the second biggest spenders in the Premier League after Man United. It calls it's a lie. This is what I mean. Fans don't have any football intelligence. They're thick.
But right, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is
they hate me saying it, but I'm right.
But what I'm trying to say is that you could criticize him for taking Lo Celso out for Skip, right? We don't know why he did it or what his thought process behind it was. We could disagree with it, and that's fine. But my question is to the fans that are questioning Postecoglou, other than the substitutions, because we all used to question Pochettino's substitutions too, right? He used to always wait too long, and he always would, he'd take Son out and bring in freaking Lamella, or, do something dumb like that always pissed me off, right? But I love Pochettino. My question is in an alternate universe where everything was exactly the same except for those two plays, right? Where Richarlison finishes his header and Udogie doesn't make that pass. What about the tactics was an error? Because then the result's completely different. We win that game 2-1, right?
Right.
Because it was an unforced error from Udogie. He wasn't being pressed. He was in 3 to 4 yards of space, He nonchalantly plays a ball with what I call a floofy pass into the back, but you're bringing people in too fast. I was going to do Batgirl, but it's too late.
Sorry, huh?
It's too late now.
What?
It's already been ruined.
No, do
Already
it.
been ruined.
Do
It can't be done. It's already done.
You brought me in like it already brought me in like 3 times.
So
Like
She's
you
a disgrace
brought me
anyway.
in
She's an
and then took me
absolute
out.
disgrace. She's a disgrace.
You
She
brought
was
me
an
in and took me
she was
out
on
like
an
3
Arsenal
times.
fan channel yesterday. She was on an Arsenal
You mean
fan
TJ?
channel.
You mean
Shit.
TJ's channel? TJ,
The Arsenal
who
channel.
you
TJ
have
Warren
on this channel
you
at
had-
least
you-
once a week?
and
Who's
you know
the
what?
fraud?
And
Who's
you
the
know what?
fraud?
No, don't deflect. Don't deflect that you spend your time with Arsenal fans on an Arsenal channel
I
promoting
go on
Arsenal.
Arsenal
Yeah,
fans
but
channels all the time.
She's
I
a
won't.
gooner. She's a gooner.
I'm not a
Like,
gooner.
subscribe, and hit
Says
the
the,
bell,
says
folks.
the guy.
She's a gooner.
Says the guy who has
Wears
been
an Arsenal
pictured
shirt.
wearing an Arsenal kit before.
Did you get Arteta's signature yet for your shirt? Oh, have you asked him?
Well, if
She doesn't
you know
own
what,
an Arsenal shirt.
I don't have an Arsenal shirt, but I know you do because you
I know
wore it
you
on
want a
stream
signature.
before.
If I think if you tweet him, he'll sign a book maybe for you or something.
He's got plenty of time now that he's banned.
Christ.
Whatever, Rod. I was.
That picture's pretty disturbing. Like
It is
the
disturbing.
lack of hair on Arteta, like baby Arteta.
I've never wanted to slap a baby more.
Look, just imagine. That's what Arteta. If Arteta was really trying to be like Pep and he shaved his head, that's what he would look like.
I mean, bald is beautiful, but not on him.
It's great. I love it.
Could you imagine Brian Hill with no hair?
Oh,
I don't. He doesn't even look good with hair. But
Hair downstairs, but anyway.
my prediction went wrong today again. I said we would win 2-0. Yeah, my prediction went wrong today. That's what happens. We played like we could have won 2-0. It just didn't happen.
I'm starting to get real.
Oh, we got Steve got the super chat here. We got Big Strasburg Steve.
I got
Northeast Bottle Jobs versus North London Bottle Jobs on Sunday. God only knows who's going to win on Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, Steve-O.
All
We
right,
got
guys.
Dealer Spurs in the house.
Hey, Dallas Spurs.
Yo, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
The thing is, look, I don't mind if people want to criticize
Who left?
criticize him.
Did
But I
Chris
want
leave?
I don't
How you
I
guys
don't I
doing
don't, I don't
tonight?
want to hear things like he's naive.
Mari, I think. No?
He's
No, it was
naive.
How
Mari.
you guys doing?
Sorry.
He's this, he's that. Don't just. It's like when you say, you know, Richarlison's shit. Okay, what's the alternative then?
We all
What's the
know
alternative?
Richarlison shit though.
Yeah, but pointing out. Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is pointing out the problem is not intelligence. Tell me what the solution is and explain why, and that's a good conversation.
The
but
solution
no one
is
can
buy
do
two
that.
new wingers. That's what I said before. The solution is buy new wingers. That's the solution.
Right. Okay, but until we do that, there's nothing we can do, right?
Right. Yeah. Nothing we can do. You can't improve
Exactly.
if the players aren't up. If the players don't have the quality to finish, then there's nothing you can do until you replace them with players that have that quality. That's simply easy. Right? If, for example, if I own a business, right, and my business is sales, and I have 2 salesmen, right, and those 2 salesmen go out into the field and they just are awful at it, right? They can't talk, they're embarrassed, right? They're just not good salesmen. Can I improve my sales without hiring new salesmen? No, I can't. I'm stuck with the salesmen I got until I fire them and hire new salesmen. The sales will suffer until that happens. Same with product. If I've got a product that's faulty, I cannot change the sales of the product until I redesign it and re-release it, right? Again, because it is what it is. You can't make Brendan Johnson a better passer of the ball. You can't make Kulusevski better than what he is on the ball. You can't make Richarlison a better finisher than he is. You just can't do it.
Is it becoming like?
No, because stats don't tell you what's going to happen in the future. They tell you what is likely. They are a foundation for making rational predictions. They don't tell you. They don't predict the future.
All right, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Apparently, we had so many stats in our favor versus Everton today. We won so many midweek games. Everton conceded 4 goals in all these games. I'm a historical stats merchant, head to head. H28.
Yeah, but those
It
aren't
may as well be my
stats.
middle name. Yeah, it is.
Hold on. No, they're not, Steve. Historical stats aren't stats. Each individual game is an independent statistical
Head-to-head?
event. Right. Just because you won at Everton 30 times in the past doesn't mean that's what's going to happen today. You have to look at the stats that happen on the day, right?
Oh, we got destroyed.
Yeah, but on the stats on the day, Everton was better than you.
Oh, 100%. It should have been 5. It should have been 5. And by the way, this injury excuse that people are running with, fuck that. You know why? Because I see all of my fans picking win after injury. Shut up.
Right, they had 21 shots to your 13. They had 6 on target to your 3.
They were terrible.
They had 1.72 expected assists to your 0.145. The only stat that you guys dominated was possession. Big chances were exactly the same. You guys did miss 3 big chances. So you could say that the fact that it wasn't a 3-3 draw was down to you guys being not clinical. That would be a logical and rational argument for Newcastle fans to hold, right?
Nah, but we suck away from home. So y'all are getting the 3 points on Sunday. I don't know how. I don't know when. But you're getting the 3 points on Sunday. We're god awful.
I never said
away
Newcastle would
from
finish above Arsenal. I said they could. I never said they would. Tottenham will finish above Arsenal.
People just lie. People just lie.
Did you think?
I don't know about that.
Did you think Pape Sarr wasn't ready? It came on before.
Yeah, Papamata Sarr just can't finish, right? He's Sissoko 2.0. I didn't think he played horribly.
I understand why Skip came on before him, unless it was he's not.
It's got to be time, right? It can be the only. I don't know what's going. I don't know what his rationale is, except that he has players that he has to manage. The only excuse that I can come off, and this is an excuse because I don't know the facts, right? I'm simply pontificating. The only explanation that I can imagine is that he has players that he needs to manage, and he saw on the pitch that players were getting tired, and so he was forced. Because, for example, if Lo Celso's on the bench, or if there are better quality players on the bench, does he really bring those players on? Like, he didn't have another choice, right?
Yeah.
Like, Højbjerg was obviously not on it today, and he had to do something.
Yeah.
Right. We needed more attack. So that substitutes for Richarlison, right? Put Kulu in midfield. That made sense to me. Then bringing Lo Celso out for Skip didn't make sense to me.
No, that's what I was saying about Sarr not being ready. It didn't make sense. Because Skip's regressed.
And we played the exact same way, bar 2 games. So 2 out of the 5, we performed the exact same way we did in the first 10. In fact, we performed better. Okay. Statistics will not tell you results. This is the stupid thing. Neither will your gut. Your eye test won't tell you results either. Right?
Bryce, I don't think Pape Sarr or Skip win us the game.
No. I just think we've Skip's
messing around with like paper or something.
I just don't understand with form bringing Skip on. He's really struggling. He looks lost.
Who, Skip?
Yeah, he literally looks like a white.
He did well when he came on against Man City.
Yeah, he was busy. I wouldn't have said he did well.
Yeah, look, I don't think he fits into Angie's long-term plans the way we want to play. I agree with you. But what do we do? Like, you look at the bench. We had Skip, Pape Sarr, Richarlison, Veliz, Donnelly, Dorrington, and 2 goalies. Like, who comes off that bench and changes it?
Oh, I don't know.
So Ike has a great question. He says, how are Spurs going to finish above Arsenal? They will get more points than Arsenal will. That's how.
I don't know about that, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Dale Spurs, you got like a real weird crackle. You may want to jump out and jump back in. Your mic is like fizzing now.
I've muted.
I think it's getting.
Can I give my thoughts on the game? I haven't said anything.
Urban Lando, I've already answered your question like 5 times, so now you're just gonna get time out for spamming. Right. So
Can I give my thoughts on the game?
Go
I haven't
for
said
it, dude.
anything. I came on and I was just dodging bullets from this fraud over here, Stelios, the Gooner. So
You sound really happy that Arsenal are top of the league.
gross. Gross.
You can hear the happiness in your
Who's been
voice.
wearing
the
Arsenal
happiness.
shirts. Who's been wearing
Woo!
Arsenal shirts.
Go Arteta. Woo!
Gross. Ugh, gross.
Wrexham are red as well, aren't they?
all right, let's let her talk so we can get past the meta.
No, Bryce was asking a good question.
We only have 15 minutes left of the show.
Yes,
Maybe 20
Wrexham
at
are
the
red,
most.
Bryce. Wrexham are red,
Yeah.
yes.
Make sense, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, no, I was pretty upset after the game. Because here's the thing, I think that obviously, the first half we were playing pretty well, but our issue was that we couldn't finish our chances. I think that everybody was saying that. I came on earlier in the chat and was saying that. And I just don't understand, like, first of all, we clearly don't have the quality enough to finish our chances. And then if we don't have the quality enough to finish the chances, then get the fucking ball to Sonny. Like, there was a few times there, he was there and he was waving his hands like, I'm open. And then they take a shot and it just goes into the fucking stands and he's screaming. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, so and then we just completely, we let West Ham score 1 goal and then completely capitulate after that. And that shows a real mentality issue in my opinion. I think
that pass from Udogie, that's not the first time he's done that. It's just that he got away with it.
It's the second time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Udogie made a huge mistake.
Oh.
He's had times where, even though I think Udogie is quality, he does have times where he loses focus. He loses his concentration, and he's done it before. He actually did it a few times when in the North London Derby, remember? When he was like having this battle going on with Saka. He did it in the Chelsea game too. Like, there's been a few times where he's gotten kind of, I don't know what it is, like rattled or nervous or something. And then he has to like calm himself and like refocus. So we've seen it before. He does have a hard time doing that for the entirety of a game, especially when he's under pressure. But I think that there probably isn't a lot that Ange could do. He doesn't really have very many options that he could choose. I don't know why he brought Lo Celso off. I don't know if it was like he felt like he was tired or what. I don't really know. I don't know what's in his head. I don't know what the conversation was between him and Lo Celso or whatever. Pretty sure he brought Sonny off because he thought Sonny was probably carrying a knock or some kind. And
well, I mean, it actually says, like, on SofaScore, it has a health sign above his name.
Yeah, and I said it when he came on, right? I was in your chat, and I said I think he came off.
You saw it before I did. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, so he was limping and wincing, and then so I was like, okay. Otherwise, he 100% would have kept Sonny on the entire game because that's what he's been doing, especially since we don't really have any goal-scoring threat otherwise. So, I mean, he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. That being said, I feel like it's just not, and it's not his fault that these are the tools that we have. This completely goes up to the leadership and the fact that we don't have enough depth in our squad. We've talked about it before. I knew this was going to happen. I knew we were going to have some rough times ahead. I keep saying it. This is it. So we have to back Ange and support him. That being said, I think that this many losses is not acceptable. This many losses is not acceptable. Under Conte, everybody is talking so much shit about Conte. Under Conte, there was only one time that he ever went more than 2 losses. And that was 3 losses in a row under Conte.
Yeah.
So,
Giannis, you want to say something?
Yeah.
So-
I just wanted. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted
Go
to say
ahead.
my quick thoughts initially
Go
about
ahead.
the game, real quick. Me personally, what I took from this game, I don't really want to see Kulevet. I don't want to see Decky on the wing. I kind of want to see him back centrally. I kind of like how we set up against City with Basuma. No, with Basuma, Lo Celso, and Decky kind of in the middle, and then Johnson on the right side. It just seems like Johnson on the left, like the ball's in the box in the final third, getting those crosses in. I don't know. I think he had a pretty poor game. He was, indecisive. He wasn't getting those balls in, and I don't know. Just Decky on the wing. I don't know. Just watching it, he's always cutting into the left. It just seems very like he's hesitant. He doesn't know what he's doing as well. But I don't know. I think honestly, how we lined up against City, I was kind of hoping to see that today, and playing Højbjerg and Basuma together. I think that was just a recipe for disaster. I didn't really like that. Having two CDMs playing against West Ham, we had a lot of possession, but they're just so limited players. Like we know that, at least Højbjerg, we've seen that countless times. He's very limited, and just like moving forward, especially with Maddison out until like the new year, I just think he has to plug him and Lo Celso in that middle. Like get that creativity in and just put those balls in. And obviously, they're not like Madison. They're not going to get those balls to Son like as well as he did. But I just think it was better, at least in the City game. And and having Romero back was good. The build-up play from the back was way cleaner instead of having Emerson on the pitch. We saw last game Emerson was kind of hesitant. He had kind of misplaced some passes. He wasn't that like sharp on the ball. But I think with Romero, we saw that like calm, collective unit in the back. It was better. So yeah, I don't know.
100%. He's fantastic. He was the best player.
Yeah, that was just my thoughts. I want to see Decky back kind of in the middle with Lo Celso and playing Basuma behind them. But yeah, that's kind of what I think about it.
Jonas, do you know what? I don't think if we did that, it would change the result today. I think the problem we had today was the fact that Man City play possession-based attacking football, so we can pick off the lines and get into the spaces and find time to shoot or to get a cross in and pull them out of shape. Whereas when we played teams like West Ham, they were so compact, so deep. They played exactly how Conte and Mourinho played, and we hounded those managers out. We didn't want those managers because they played like West Ham. Exactly what West Ham did to us today. Conte and Jose were trying to do that to everyone else for 3-4 years. But we don't want that at Spurs. We don't want that at Tottenham. Get them out. Fine. And we're going to be the other team that attacks. So what do? Well, if you want to do it the attacking way, you need attacking players. Brennan Johnson, for me, so far is a letdown. Brian Hill needs to be sold. Kulusevski has got a goal in him. Lo Celso has got a goal in him. Son has got goals in him. That's it. No other midfielders score. Pape Sarr's awful at shooting. Basuma doesn't score. Skip doesn't score. Højbjerg doesn't score. Literally, we're a team that fell right into West Ham's lap. West Ham were really, really good at defending tonight. Really good. Yeah. And the only way you're going to beat that is by having a locksmith like a Maddison who wasn't on the pitch. We had no one of Maddison's technical, penetrative creativity on the pitch. So Son got no service all night. The wingers show that they're just not actually good enough to be wingers. We like.
But look at the other teams. Look at the other teams. Look at the other teams that play the same.
We struggle against any team that low blocks us. We struggled.
No, look at the other teams. Look at the other teams that play the way we play. Right? City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa. Yeah. And look at the quality of their wingers compared to the quality of ours. Right? Yeah. You've got Doku, Grealish, Foden. Right, for Manchester City. You've got Diaz and Mohamed Salah for Liverpool. You've got Martinelli and Saka for Arsenal. You've got Diaby, Bailey for Aston Villa. And we've got Brennan Johnson and Kulusevski. Right, there's a huge drop-off.
Matoma
for Brighton even. Until we get a player of that quality in that system, it's not going to work if we're not going to play the ball to Son. It's just a fact.
I agree, but still, I think you even said on the watch along too. Like, I don't understand. I just didn't understand playing Højbjerg. What was the point of playing Højbjerg alongside Basuma? What did that bring? I know you said it doesn't really matter if you played what's his name? Yeah, what did I say?
Yeah. For me, I don't like Højbjerg starting for Spurs. I don't think he's a player that should start for Spurs. I don't think he's good enough. I don't mind him when he comes on with 20 minutes to go or 25 just to kind of shore it up a bit. I'm okay with that because I think actually he plays a different game. But when he's starting, I just find he's a very different player. And he's just not an handball player. He's not that player. He's not that technical. He's not Bentancur. You see Bentancur play, you're like, this is exactly what we need. Højbjerg's a million miles off of that.
Wait,
so
can I say, so I actually agree with you, Johannes. It is Johannes, right?
Yeah, that's how you say, yep.
Yeah, Johannes. So I actually agree with you about Basuma and Højbjerg, because we saw Basuma last season not play well when he was playing with Højbjerg.
Yeah.
And so we already saw that be the case. And we know that both of them can be on the more defensive side. So I'm not saying that I think they can play together, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they should, especially in this situation when like West Ham was being way more defensive and we were having issues with breaking through. And then that situation, I would have rather played Sarr. I don't think that Højbjerg's a bad player. I think he's very dependable and consistent. Usually he had a stinker today, but he's usually fairly consistent. But I would say like Sarr would have been a better match for Basuma, simply because Basuma and Sarr this season have been playing together, with the exception of when Sarr kind of got injured. They were playing together better in that system of attacking style.
Yeah, but even Basuma, I'm gonna be honest, he's been very, I think, below standard. I think these past games.
He's been inconsistent.
He's been very
better today in moments, but he wasn't
you look at the City game. I mean, he cost us the goal today. Udogie. I mean, listen, this is what's gonna happen. Like Stell said a lot of times, everyone on the panel said that this year is kind of like a free hit. We want to play this attacking style. We want to implement it with the players. It's just I feel like these past games, Ange has been let down by like individual mistakes and errors, like Basuma last week, today Udogie. It's sad, but that's just what's going to happen in order for us to get to where we want to get. These players just have to make mistakes, and the one thing about Ange is he's telling them it's okay, I got you. Just play this style. I'll take the blame for it. So I guess that's the silver lining. But
because you'll fix. Yeah, you got to. I think you got to do that though, Jonas, because like even if you don't have the quality and the positions necessary to get the results you want, if you build the culture of playing this way, when you finally start to flesh out the squad and you bring in new talent, it's just those players are going to adapt and it's going to click a lot faster.
100%,
yeah. And so I don't understand. What bothers me, like I understand rivals doing it because they're trying to score shots, right? I get it, right? It's fun, just like the idiots in the chat. But you've got, what I don't get is our own fan base doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get that either. I think our fan base, very reactive, just like a lot of other fan bases. But I don't know, the Ange out stuff, the criticism of Ange, I think is very uncalled for. I think we've seen with a good squad, with the players that are starting 11, we've seen what this team can do. Obviously, the injuries and suspensions is kind of it's altered us, and it's kind of altered, I guess, maybe where we might finish, but. As long as we could get Europa or even Champions League would be such a successful season, in my opinion. I think we'll be fine. I think Sunday I think we should win. Newcastle have so many injuries, and even today they look really.
No. Not hearing it with the injuries. We're a shit away team with injuries, without. That's why we're gonna lose.
It's going to be a good game, but look, if Newcastle sit back versus us, like West Ham did, then I think Newcastle has a chance of winning. I just don't think Newcastle will do that, right? They're going to come out.
No, we will. No, 100%. No. We're going to sit back versus you guys because we're playing AC Milan on Wednesday. We're going to want to conserve energy. I know how this is going to go because we played conservative tonight. And we gave Everton chance after chance after chance after chance. And because they had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is a donkey, an absolute donkey of a striker, they weren't up 3-0 by like the 30th, 40th minute. And if we give those chances to you guys, unless you're doing the thing which you've been doing lately, which is what you do. This is what I do on FIFA. I go all-out attack, 4-2-4, throw bodies forward. And then if I don't score enough goals, I have no fitness at the end of the game, and I lose. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, we just need a cap. We need to get those goals in early because I think it affects the team. Like when you go so gun ho, or at least you're putting all that energy to get the second. If you don't get it, then I think it just kills the confidence in the team. I really do. Going into the second half, like there was a stat on the TV today. It said West Ham conceded the most goals in the 15 minutes going to the second half or whatever, or something like that. And it's just we just couldn't figure it out. We couldn't unlock that. We couldn't unlock the lock. And I mean the goals today too. They were
It's not the unlocking the lock. It's literally our players making poor decisions. Right, Kulusevski in the final third when he plays on the wing just doesn't do it.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why I want to see him centrally.
Right, and then same thing with Brendan Johnson. Right, there were several times when Brendan Johnson took crack shots or made poor passes. Like he got a few in. Like I think Brendan Johnson was better than Kulusevski, but they both
West Ham created nothing today.
Nothing.
They created nothing.
They were. You know what they were though? They were clinical, and that's what matters. They were clinical.
They were.
Look, if you miss
they weren't
those
clinical.
chances,
They didn't create anything.
They hit the bar.
No, but they clearly did.
Their goals were fluky.
Adogi back passed it and fucked it up, dude. Have you seen the goals?
Yeah, I've seen the goal. It was
Ward Prowse hit the post.
Did you see
in
the
his
first goal
shot with Vicario laying on the ground, Steve?
Yeah,
dude. Listen,
there was no goalkeeper in the in between the sticks.
When we played
you
Man
could
City,
still screw it up. You could still screw it up.
Dude, one minute. When we played Man City, yeah, if you go back and see the watch along, when they scored their goal, the second goal, I said, brilliant goal from Man City. What a team goal that is. I will praise the goals as I see them. West Ham today, though,
Chicken
it
Royale.
was literally like, my God, man. There's giving it to them, and then there's literally pulling your own pants down. We pulled our own pants
think about
down.
it. Think about how would you rather lose? Would you rather, if you had to lose, right? If losing is the only option, would you rather lose like we lost today, or would you rather lose like City did, right, yesterday, where they didn't have a single shot after the 11th minute?
Yeah,
I'd rather.
I get that.
I don't really care. Because the loss is a loss.
You have to
rather
lose.
just not lose.
Well, honestly,
It's
Then
not an
just pick
option.
one. Then just pick one. I don't care. There's no difference for me.
Sure, there is.
If I had to, I would do the route of you guys where you're creating chances.
Yeah.
But
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
however, clearly it's not a good pattern. And by the way, this pattern won't repeat itself on Sunday. It won't repeat itself on Sunday for you guys. You guys are gonna score your chances because we are giving opponents such easy chances.
I don't know. I don't know
that. I don't know if that's
You guys are
true.
going. You guys are going.
Because we're out of time tonight, so I want to go around the panel.
And go,
I think. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're running out of time tonight, so I'm gonna go around the panel. We're gonna start with Chris. We're gonna go to Bryce, and we're gonna go to Jonas. Say your final thoughts and what you think. What you think is going to happen on Sunday versus Newcastle?
I think
so
it
Chris?
could be a very entertaining match. I do agree that Newcastle have been bottling away games. This is a match where both teams, when you look at the table, they're going to be competing against each other. And Manchester United as well in that mix. So I think they want to take points away. And to be honest, if you leave spaces for Almiron and Anthony Gordon, they could have a feast. So.
No, not Miggy Almiron. Almiron is stinky,
fine.
bro.
That's what you think. But,
yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
That's okay. That's why I'm talking to say my piece. So, and I think that if you leave Son the opportunities that we gave Everton today, it's going to be over quickly. So both teams know what their weaknesses are and strengths, but it could be a great match this weekend, to be honest.
Bryce, what do you think? Final thoughts, and what do you think about Newcastle?
I honestly don't know what to think anymore. Yeah, I agree with Stells. He said before it's a game where he doesn't know the result, and I don't know the result in this game. I feel like we could smash them, or we could get done like we did today. It's terrible.
Good deal. Jonas, final thoughts, and what do you think about Newcastle?
Yeah, my final thoughts, I was just thinking about this too. Even with today's game, our best chances in the goal came off set pieces. The header by Romero and Richarlison, if it was anybody else, probably would have scored. But I don't know. I'm not as confident going into Newcastle. I know Steve said that their away record is terrible and all, whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I think we're struggling right now, and I don't know to break down these slow blocks. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm honestly. I think it's probably gonna be a 1-1 draw, but we'll see. Hopefully, we could get a win, but I'm not that optimistic.
Yeah.
Richarlison's
Spurs.
scored with his feet.
Yeah, he needs to. Dale Spurs, what do you think?
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
You need some internet in Ohio or wherever you're at. Okay, you're unmuted, but we can't hear you.
I heard her.
No, it's not Cube. It's Dale Spurs that we're trying to.
Oh, okay.
Cube.
He's not.
We'll skip. We'll come back to you, Dale Spurs. See if you can work your mic out. Jump back in if you need to, and we'll get your thoughts. Cubed, what do you think? Final thoughts and Newcastle.
Not optimistic about Newcastle. I already expected that Newcastle was going to be a loss or at most a draw before this game. I'm even more convinced that's the case. I'm very disappointed because ultimately everybody that wants pretty football. When it comes to this kind of stuff, I feel like ends justify the means, and I care about the result. So I just want to win. I just want some points, and I think that's what we need to focus on. And we need to pray and hope that Sonny's not injured, because it's now very clear that if Sonny's not scoring the goals, nobody is.
By the way, I think he's injured because in the press conference afterwards, they said, "What's the situation with Sonny?" And Ange went, "I don't know." But he shook his head, he's like, "I don't know." Like he almost looked resolved to the fact that he might be out. I've got a feeling he's going to be out.
Oh, goody. That means Richarlison probably start. Woohoo!
Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, and all the people hating on him, talking so much shit about him, and now look
Dude,
at it.
Richarlison, oh my God. Do you know what? If get Dan, get that fraud Dan on this show. Get that fraud on this show.
Don't worry, we have Valise.
Dan's welcome to come on the show anytime. Dan just hides. He doesn't come on anymore.
He's going hiding, I know. He's
Yeah,
going hiding.
it's not my fault.
We're talking about young. Are we talking about young Dan?
Yep.
We're talking about English.
Oh,
Dan.
I'm gonna go
think
to
y'all are
Stelios,
in
and
it.
then I'm gonna go Stelios, and then we'll come to Steve. Stelios, final thoughts, and what do you think about Newcastle on the weekend?
Final thoughts, I don't care, man. This season, I've said it's not about results for me. I know people will talk about results, whatever. For me, this is you've got to lay down the foundations of how you want to play, and we've got to see if Levy's going to back him. We don't know. We need to see if he's going to back him, right? So let's give it 1 year to see if we can develop the system and if Levy's going to back him. And as for the result on the weekend, like Bryce said, I've got no idea. This one, I've got no idea. So I'm just going to say 1-1 because I don't know what to say. I'm just going to say 1-1.
Yeah.
Mr. Steve.
1-1 or freaking 5 or 6-0. It's weird.
Yeah. So Mr. Steve, what do you think? Mr. Steve at Walmart?
Probably 6-0. Fucking hell. Nobody's bad us, by the way. Nobody's bad Spurs this season. Nobody.
I mean, 5 or 6-0
Or Chelsea. Steve, what's going on?
to us.
Yeah, like we might actually start scoring all these chances that we're creating.
All right,
That
it's
would be
Steve's turn
amazing.
to give his final thoughts and his Newcastle predictions.
We don't want
We're
Steve
gonna.
to
Oh, yeah, bro. Hey, it is what it is. Look, we're finished. We're finished in terms of the away form. I'm not picking these guys to win nothing away from home. So it's an incoming loss. It's an incoming loss. So I don't care if Sun's out. I don't care if this. Y'all will find goals somehow.
I hate this.
I
I
just
hate
don't have
this.
any hope,
I hate
bro.
this. I hate this. It's all
what do
set
you
up for you
mean?
to win then. I hate
Yeah.
this. I hate this.
How is it all set up for us to win? Our away form is
He's all,
disgusting.
hey, how good this.
Dude. This stinks. This stinks.
If Sun's
I don't
out,
know what
if Sun's out, we'll lose. That's just the way that it is. De La
This
Spurs.
stinks.
Wow.
De La Spurs. We still can't hear you, boss.
This stinks.
There we go. We can hear you now. We heard you. We said this stinks, but it came through super slow.
There he is.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you still not hear me?
No, we got you. Go ahead.
Still can't hear me?
You're on a delay, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, what I would say is that I think for Spurs, yeah, is that it's going to be I think it's going to be like a basketball game essentially. I think it's going to be up and down. I think Newcastle is going to be up for it. I think even though both teams are, I guess, not in the best form, so to speak, I think still they're going to want to go after it to get the points for the league position. To be quite honest, I'm seeing it as a 3-goal game. I think I'm going to say Spurs win it 2-1, but I think it's going to be a last-minute goal that's going to decide it. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be cagey all the way until the final whistle. I mean, the extra time, extra 10, 12 minutes for whatever that happens in the game. But I think for us, we just got to keep our heads. I think if we can keep our heads and keep the mentality up throughout the game, we should come out with the win. But if we get, if we lose ourselves, or even worse, if we try to kind of like with the Chelsea game, if Newcastle is going to be physical and, try to bite us, and we try to bite back and we end up giving dumb fouls and start giving up yellow cards all throughout the game, then I think we can lose it. But I think we can win 2-1 with a late goal, with some late heroics. I don't know who it's going to be.
Harry Kane.
It's not going to be Eric Dyer, I can promise you that. But for me, my final thoughts. Look, if you're a Spurs fan and you're coming after Postecoglou after this result for anything other than substitutions, I'm going to come at you. It's just the way that it is, because you're being disingenuous. And the thing that bothers me most about anything else is people making up false narratives and lying about reality. That really bothers me. I'm going to come after you. I'm just letting you know now, right, that if you take a narrative other than disagreeing with his substitutions, I am going to debunk you, right? I'm just putting that out there into the public, so don't be surprised when it happens. You do it if you want. It's a free world for the most part. But I am going to respond. Newcastle for me. What?
I just want to say that if Son is injured and Richarlison starts as the striker, I'm not doing the watch along on Sunday. There's no way.
Oh, come on, man.
I'll do it.
There's no way.
But the
Boycott.
So for us, if Son is fit and we see the same starting 11 that we saw today, maybe Bart, maybe Kulu in the middle, Richarlison starting on the left, I think Spurs have a chance to win. If Son is out, we will not win that game, right? Because no one else on the pitch can finish, right? We have no Madison, we have no anybody, right?
Yeah. So we cancel the watch.
Unless Romero scores 2 goals by himself, because he's the only other player that can score right now. Literally has more goals than Lo Celso does.
How bad is that?
Is it true that Spurs broke another record today with being the only team to have scored first 5 times and still not managed to win?
Yeah. Or only got 1 point out of those 5 games or something like that after finishing first. Yeah, but those are stupid stats.
There's another stat as well. There's another stat as well. We're the first team ever to go 1-0 up and lose 3 games in a row at home.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
But I'd like to finish my Newcastle predictions if I might. For Newcastle, so if Son's out, we're going to lose. Score lines, I think if Son is fit and we pretty much have the same starting lineup, bar maybe a couple of changes, Richarlison will have more minutes in his leg, so he should be able to start on the left. Brendan Johnson on the right, Kulu in midfield. If we play that, I think we'll win probably. I think it'll be a comfortable 3-1. If Son is out, we are going to lose 3-0.
Whoa. That makes no sense.
Yeah, because
Son
presses like nobody's business. And what we lose from him off the ball will impact us.
Richarlison is going to score 3 own goals.
Son had 3 tackles today. Man. Son is way more defensive than people think. Son is way more defensive.
Starts. God help us, man. I'm telling you, God help us.
Richarlison scores his first goal.
Could you imagine? Because if Richarlison starts, you're going to have to look at what Højbjerg, Bissouma, Lo Celso. Dude, it's going to be peak, man. It's going to be peak. I may not come to that watch along either. Still, now that I think about it.
Can you believe people on Twitter were saying like Sonny is like faking an injury right now to save himself for Asian Cup? That's our fan base.
RVP,
That's our
I
fan.
actually predicted us to lose against Man City. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, seriously, like people who want to banter me, you need to listen carefully to what I say, right? Because when you try to mud me and you're wrong, I'm going to mud you twice over, right? Don't give me ammunition. Don't give me ammunition to make you look more stupid than you are. Come at me with things that are true. Go find something that's true and then get me. And I'll be like, all right, you got me. Good job, buddy. Clap, clap, clap. But don't make crap up. It just makes you look silly. But also, too, for people that don't know, I do have another channel that I do fragrances on, and I am sitting at 995 subscribers. So if there's anybody that likes fragrances and you want to help a guy out, or if you just like me, do me a solid and hit that at WillStraight365.
I'm not
That's it.
subscribed. I just realized that.
Well, freaking subscribed, Cubed.
I don't
Have you,
know. Like you? I'm not
Jeez.
sure.
What-
I haven't decided yet.
What fragrance do you recommend to spray over the shit that's stinking at our club?
Wow. So you're gonna need something really strong and pretty pungent. So I would go with
Well, what's the fragrance that Arteta uses?
so Carlisle.
Well, you would know, Cubed. You tell us.
Carlisle from Parfums de Marley. This smells like tobacco, oud, and
we'll actually don't
vanilla.
care. We'll actually don't care.
So that would do it.
We're by the way, this panel, we're such a miserable lot. We're a bunch of Newcastle and Spurs fans that are just all pessimistic and depressed about what's going to happen this weekend.
I'm looking forward to
by
the.
the way?
Hey,
Who do you
I'm
support?
looking.
Newcastle.
Newcastle, yeah.
Oh, you're fucked as well, yeah.
I know, all of us.
Well, grew up
Newcastle
watching another one that I keep a secret, but yeah, I don't want no
Who's
problem.
Who's that?
None.
Arsenal.
No, some other team. We'll never know.
So you're a traitor.
No, I'm not a traitor, man. I don't get forced what my daddy made me to be. I didn't choose that. You
Wait,
know?
What age
what?
did you change? What age did you change?
Well, actually, I'm unbiased, man. That's why I don't really get into the banting stuff. So I
So
just
what
say
age was
Newcastle
it?
because I get happy when they win. So
What age did you change though?
I stopped being biased probably 22.
22. You're a traitor, dude. Come on, man. That's late. That is late.
That's late. Well, I mean, I started talking football then, so that's like I need to be unbiased. That's why I got a neutral channel. So
It's all right. We've got an American guy that comes on the show that pretends to be British, so we're used to it on this channel. We're used to it.
Frauds,
Who's that?
basically. That think you guys are still in the title race. That kid, that poor kid. I have to remember that he's 12.
He thinks Richarlison's a
Otherwise,
good player. He thinks Richarlison's a good
that's
player.
bro. That's what 12-year-olds are. They're stupid as hell. They're extremely stupid. I've worked with them. They're idiots. They're like
16, isn't he?
it's unbelievable.
All right.
All right. We got so everybody go over to @TopFCTV on YouTube and subscribe to Chris. He's got a really good channel. It's kind of a neutral channel with a Newcastle tilt. We are not a neutral channel. We are 100% biased towards Tottenham, and we don't care. So if you don't like it, you can cry about it. Just like Arteta.
Ugly baby.
But yeah, because you know why? You know what Arteta likes to say?
Because it's not a goal. For many reasons, it's not a goal.
He's
For
a
more than
music
one
man.
reason, at least, it's not a goal.
Needs to be an investigation.
For more than one reason, it's not a goal.
Can I say if
This is
Unai Emery
great.
beats him, if
It's a
Unai Emery
disgrace.
beats him this weekend, it will be
They
one of
will.
the most justice serving results for the way he was treated by that club. If Unai just puts the dagger through them, it would be magnificent.
Sell. Aston Villa are going to cook Arsenal. Cook
I
them.
don't know, man. Arsenal have got the luck right
No,
now.
no,
man.
no,
This
no,
weekend,
no,
it's right
no,
in their way,
nah.
dude.
Nobody goes to Villa Park right now and wins. Nobody's going to St. James's Park
I hope
and
so.
wins.
I hope
Nobody
they-
goes
if-
to
if-
Anfield.
I just
So
want to
good.
hear.
We are
hope.
gonna hold on. We got to wrap it up. So I do want to plug Steve as well. Strasbourg Steve, you got a channel. What's your app, buddy?
Just Strasbourg Steve on YouTube, bro. That's what it
What
is.
is
I got
at
Napoli.
Strasbourg Steve?
Yeah, just type it in on YouTube in the search thing.
Just type in at Strasbourg Steve and check that out. But guys, that's it for today. We're gonna be back Sunday. If we got a watch along, are we doing a show tomorrow still or not? I don't think so. I don't think there's one planned.
I told you, it all depends on Sonny's injury. If Sonny's out, I'm that's it. I'm done.
Hey, we need
gotta
to
watch
do that watch
along.
along
Are you-
together.
Watch along on
Big-
Sunday, and then we'll be doing a Will
Big
Stewart's
timeout.
THFC Ranch show Sunday night again. So check that out. Folks, we'll see you guys next time. Stay strong. Stay Spurs. And I always screw up my outro by saying we'll see you guys next time before I'm supposed to say we'll see you guys next time. And it really throws me for a loop. But we'll see you guys next time. We're out of here. Peace.